welcome to SVG-TV's news for Wednesday, July the 8th, 2020. I am Barvin Arthur with the details. Antigua and Barbados Prime Minister Gaston Brown has called for a meeting with SVG and Barbados in a last-ditch effort to save regional airline LIAT. Brown, who was at the time addressing members of the Antigua and Barbuda Workers Union, said he wrote the Prime Minister of the two major stakeholders, Mia Motley of Barbados and SVG's Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, asking them to attend a final meeting to discuss his proposals for reorganizing LIAT.
In a last-ditch effort, I have requested a meeting for next Monday, which I believe I'll get, to look at a possible reorganizational plan. We should have that plan completed by Friday. We have individuals working on that plan. But I have to tell you that, the solution will involve some pain. But you're better off having some pain rather than having parts of your body amputated.
And on radio today, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said he has accepted the invitation from the Antiguan Prime Minister for them to meet on Monday, July the 13th.
I have no problem in listening to my brother Gaston if he has a plan, a workable plan with realistic financing, and and he's a serious man. But while we talk there, as I said, I have to make sure that we do that I look for airlift.
PM Gonsalves said the liquidation of LIAT was based on a recommendation made by the airline's board of directors, as a resolution was signed stating that the airline was in no position to operate due to its financial burden. Dr. Gonsalves said that he will be going into the meeting with the Antiguan Prime Minister with an open mind, but with factual information on LIAT's state of affairs.
I'm not a mimic man. I try and do independent and creative thinking. People can see our record and the kind of thought which we put into things. And that's clear over the last 20 years since we've been in government, almost 20 years. I also not going to fight the future and the requisites of efficacious regional air transport. And I'm not going to look forward to the past. There are certain practical things which are before me.
Meanwhile, PM Gonsalves said two airlines out of the U.S. have written to him proposing to fill the void of LIAT. He said he has not yet responded to them. There are approximately 29 airlines in the region, including Caribbean Airlines and the two Vincentian Airlines, One Caribbean and SVG Air, that have also indicated an interest to fill the void left by LIAT by adding more flights to their schedule to ensure the continuation of intra-regional travel. The Argyle International Airport, Inc. is working towards the gradual commencement of full operations. As such, the airport is preparing for the resumption of American Airlines weekly service out of Miami starting this Saturday, July the 11th, 2020. One Caribbean scheduled flight will also commence its intra-regional travel on Sunday, July the 12th, 2020, serving Grenada, St. Lucia, Dominica, St. Vincent, Barbados, Guyana, and Tortola. SVG Air will continue with its shared and private charters serving the Grenadines and neighboring islands. The AIA said more information on other scheduled flights will be released when confirmed. In keeping with the COVID-19 safety measures outlined by the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment, the public is asked to adhere to precautionary guidelines for the protection of staff and passengers at all times throughout the airport or SVG. These guidelines are: all persons entering airport terminal buildings must wear a mask or face covering. Say goodbye to friends and family outside the terminal building to avoid crowding the departure check-in lounge. Practice social distancing. Regularly and thoroughly sanitize your hands with an alcohol-based hand rub or wash hands with soap and water, and welcome passenger curbside so as to refrain from crowding the arrivals lounge. Temperature checks, contact information of people, and maximum number of people at outdoor and indoor gatherings are some of the recommendations in the new protocols that have been drafted to manage mass gatherings and amplify music in public spaces. Speaking on radio today, Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves outlined the protocols which he said have been completed, and it is now left up to the police commissioner to make an announcement on the lifting of the ban on amplified music, which has been in place for the last 3 months due to COVID-19. PM Gonsalves said as part of the new protocols for outdoor events or gatherings, the location must be spacious and the maximum number of people recommended is 300, while indoor gatherings, the maximum number of persons is 200.
Air crusades, blockoramas, outdoor fetes, gatherings around open bars, for instance Heritage Square, gatherings with direct access to the courtyard or to a courtyard or a large yard or a large pool area, catamaran cruises, beach and river picnics. All those outdoor, those are specified in the protocol. Indoor gatherings would include indoor church services, concerts, house parties, nightclubs, restaurants, bars, those places. Meetings, boat rides on ferries.
In addition, there must be a sanitization station for every 40 people. Masks must be worn. Temperature checks will be organized by event coordinators, and if any individual's temperature exceeds 100.1 degrees Fahrenheit, the COVID-19 hotline should be notified.
Have a control entry. That's at Victoria Park. You'll do temperature checks. Understand these things with temperature checks, they're available. You can buy them by couriers or Ace or whatever have you. And any person who is found with a temperature greater than 100.1 degrees Celsius, Fahrenheit, must be referred immediately to the COVID hotline. And just to repeat, the COVID hotline is 534-4325.
Further, persons will be asked to give their name and phone number in the event that someone contracts COVID-19 at a large gathering, which will make it easier for health professionals to conduct contact tracing.
For the gatherings, for your restaurant, your bars and the like. Look, people coming in, just take their name and their contact number. And you can hold it for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. That is really to help with contact tracing. If it happens that at that particular place, somebody is likely to have contracted COVID, that you could know basically all the persons, so that we can contact trace them in a very short period of time. You're enjoying yourself, but you're doing you're just helping us with some basic things, and is no problem.
The Prime Minister said consideration will be given by the police in some instances where it is necessary, as they are the enforcers of the law. And former Prime Minister Sir James Mitchell has questioned why a parliamentary oversight committee has not been established to ensure the transparent spending of monies during this time of COVID-19. Sir Mitchell, who was speaking on Boom FM yesterday, said that he's concerned how taxpayer monies are being used as part of the government's stimulus package.
It is sad that in this moment of crisis that there is not a parliamentary committee of oversight of using the taxpayers' money. One of the most brilliant things that the government could have done with all this money they're getting from the World Bank, etc. and so on, is to cut down the price of inlet. Not giving a sheet of lumber and galvanize. Cut down the price of inlet. And that will help everybody everywhere. Look at the charges that you are given. Stockpile medicines in the hospital. Improve the equipment, etc. It's a question, the same what Dr. Friday is talking about. Priority in the use of government money.
Sir Mitchell commended the authorities for the management of COVID-19. However, he said more testing needs to be done.
Aspect of COVID, I think it has been pretty well handled by the government in terms of making sure we keep track of the people infected and isolating people and seeing that people are tested, etc. And I was fascinated that last week or a week before I went to Mustique. I got off the ferry like everybody else, and all the workers returning to Mustique were tested, and I like that. And I wish we could do more of that to make sure the moment you see any problem in any area, go through and test.
Vendors plying their trade outside massive stores in Arnsville are unsure about their next move after they reportedly asked to pack up their stuff and leave the area. Our news team caught up with some of the vendors who questioned why the decision was made, noting their concern for their livelihood.
I set up Massey about 10 years now, and then come Monday morning early and so we are going to move urgently. It was an urgent call. I can't understand that. Why is that one? What do we do? We can do for yourself. This is the probably survive every day. Every day, honest living. Every day make an honest living, so we find day one.
When they move, what we going to do? Where do we go? Jail, hospital, cemetery, and Melton home. Now when they want to get away. So what are they going to do? They're not going to treat like vendors, them in tongue. They're not set we up nice. They're not doing nothing for we. All of we are also for years.
We are here, we're wondering what is going to happen, right? And we have families, we have parents out here, right? Because I'm a father. I have my 3 children. I have one going into my daughter going into grade 6. My son, one of my sons going into farm 1, the other one going into farm 3, right? And this is what I live by.
Well, I started last week. I do it every week. Go there, try to make $1 and I cut down my breath with chin. I do even know if I do. I get me 6 months youth. I was 19 years old. I want to know the government doing with them. See them moving with from here. So what they going to carry we have to go somewhere because them just can't take we work from and do carry no way. This is really ridiculous. We need some help out here. Serious.
I have 5 children for feed. I get my bills on them for pay. I don't have a job. My husband I have a job. We not working. This is the job we're doing. This is our livelihood. This is our livelihood. So I don't know how I'm going to make it. When I go home Friday, who am I going to go to? When my children say they're hungry. And who am I going to go look up to? When my bills are come out for pay. I don't know if I do.
On top of the road, they're still going to pick them up from half of the road and tell them they can't sell on the road. I was a vendor for many years. But I have children, but sacrifice need to make too. You know, government, you're taking them off the road, just put them somewhere.
Well, I don't really like the situation so far because it's stopping everybody from getting a bread. There's everybody eating on the corner, you know what I mean? Everybody supporting your own self, supplying your own self and whatnot. So stopping us right now from doing this is a very setback for everybody. You know what I mean? People that kids will go to school, bills to pay and all them seeing this. So they come like everybody else have to restructure themselves somehow. We don't know exactly how we going to do that. Because that's how we eating every day 24/7.
SVGTV News contacted the Fiscal Planning Unit and was told they are not in a position to say why the decision was made. However, an official said discussions with the vendors are ongoing and refuted claims that the vendor structures will be demolished this Friday. The official said vendors have 7 days from when they were given notice to voluntarily move from the location. And there has been a decrease in the total number of vehicular accidents in SVG for the first half of 2020 when compared to the corresponding period in 2019. So says Traffic Officer Station Sergeant Panel Brown, who told SVGTV News that his department has seen a continuous reduction in vehicular accidents island-wide for the past 3 years and attributes this to educational programs.
283 accidents reported for that period, January to June. We have 55. We also see a slight decrease here again in the amount of accidents with injuries, and 228 of those accidents are without injuries. For that same period, we see a slight increase in the amount of road fatality. We have 4 for that period.
Last year, there were 3 road fatalities, and Sergeant Brown pointed out that the majority of vehicle accidents recorded were in the Kingstown and Kaliakwa zone.
283 accidents is island-wide, is what is happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And generally, it comes from the Out District and Kingstown. in the Calico district, that is an district prone for a lot of accidents. Now, the posted speed limit in Kingston is 15 to 20 miles per hour. That is for the out district, it is 20 miles per hour. But in school zones, we are expecting motorists to exercise a little more caution.
Meanwhile, Sergeant Brown said that the majority of traffic offences are persons who are not complying with road signs and caution cyclists about their actions.
There might be a police notice, no parking. There might be a left turn and you turn right. There might be a no entry and you go through the no entry sign. Most of the traffic offences that are committed in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is failing to comply with the road sign, and with the omnibus is stopping elsewhere. Also, the pedal cycle should be equipped with a light and a bell. The bell is to alert pedestrian and motorists of your presence on the road. The light is for you to see in the event that darkness meets you. And the protective gear is to protect you from getting seriously injured if in case an accident occurs.
Meanwhile, the police are said to be investigating the circumstances surrounding a shooting incident which occurred in the Belen area last evening on the leeward side of the island, which left one man dead. The deceased is said to be from the Edinburgh area. His body was transported on an SVG Coast Guard vessel from Belen to Port Kingston. SVG-TV News will bring you more on this incident as further information comes to hand.